All right, we are back inside 647 now with Senator Steve Daines. How are you doing, Mr. Daines?
I'm doing great. Good to be back in my hometown.
Absolutely. And happy Halloween, by the way.
Happy Halloween right here. No, go Cats.
Go Cats,
you know,
go.
41's the legacy uniform of the Bobcats. We were the 41st state admitted to the Union. In fact, our birthday's coming up, November 8th. It'll be 136 years, 1889. But every year, the Cats assigned, has to be a Montanan, gets to wear this jersey. And Paul Brott of Billings West High, a defensive end, is wearing it this year. So I thought this would be the right jersey to wear.
Okay, this is the ideal jersey to wear. Are you kidding me? You just won best costume from the three of us that are currently in the studio.
That would sell right here in the hometown, I can tell you that.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being a great sport, dressing up with us this morning.
You bet.
Now, we got a lot to talk about. Of course, the big thing on all the headlines right now is the government shutdown.
Yeah.
You know, Democrats are putting up a front that they want health care, and Republicans are saying that we'll get to health care after the government is reopened. So give us your take on all that.
Well, first of all, we agree we both want affordable health care. The problem is it's becoming unaffordable. This will be the longest shutdown in American history. It looks like the Democrats want to keep it shut down into next week. There's a big election on Tuesday in New York for that mayoral race. There's a New Jersey governor's race. There's a Virginia governor's race. We're told they're going to keep it shut down at least through Tuesday because they want to stir up their folks here to get out and vote, unfortunately, because real people are getting hurt. As you mentioned here earlier in the news stories, 77,000 Montanans lose their SNAP benefits starting this weekend. It's about 40-some million Americans lose their SNAP benefits. So this should not be about political gamesmanship. This should be about coming back together again. And I'm cautiously hopeful that some talks that just began yesterday that maybe we'll get a handful of Democrats to join us. We need 5 Democrats to join us. They have voted, the Democrats, against a clean, what CR means temporary funding bill, 14 times. Something they did 11 times when Joe Biden was president. So I think they're angry with President Trump. Don't express that anger by shutting the government down. Let's get this deal done and move forward.
And as you said, 77,000 Montanans are at risk of losing their SNAP benefits starting tomorrow. I mean, I've heard of some communities, issuing states of emergency. Tell us, what would you tell them about the government shutdown, the current state of the world, as these people are looking at not being able to buy groceries?
Well, it's not only about people going hungry, which is one of the most important needs, is to be able to feed yourself. But also, I think with air traffic controllers at the moment, we're seeing air traffic delays. Our troops aren't going to be getting paid. Your TSA agent, air traffic controllers, this is political gamesmanship. It shouldn't happen. Don't take the government hostage as part of the negotiations here to try to get an outcome because you're upset about an election that happened last year.
Absolutely. Now, thank you so much for talking about that. And of course, you're going to continue to talk about that when you're back in Washington,
I'm cautiously
DC.
optimistic. I mean, for the first time, I think the fever is starting to break. I've been watching 3 of these shutdowns since I've been in Washington, D.C., going back all the way to 2013. They typically begin with a big bang and end with a whimper. I think we're starting to see cracks developing within the Democrats. We've got Democrat senators quietly coming to us and want to try to figure out a way to stop this and get the government opened up again.
Yeah, something that we'll definitely be keeping an eye on over in Washington. Now, before I let you go, I did want to also talk about your recent peace negotiation talks over in Armenia and Azerbaijan. I mean, that's a big deal that a Montanan senator is actively involved in those discussions. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I tell you, it's probably something that many don't know the history, but for 35 years, Azerbaijan, Armenia have been at war. And because of President Trump's leadership, they brokered a peace deal. I went back to Washington on August 8th when they signed that in the White House with Marco Rubio was there. But I was able to go to Baku, Azerbaijan, Yerevan, Armenia, and bring these 2 leaders together. They border the country of Iran. Azerbaijan borders Iran, and they also border Russia. So geopolitically, a very important part of the world. And if you open up this strategic corridor that is surrounded by Russia, China, Afghanistan, Iran, this opens up oil, gas, critical minerals, moving more towards the West and not towards Russia and China. So this is a big deal. I credit President Trump and his leadership. Both those leaders love the strength as well as the resolve of President Trump, and we got that deal done.
And something I love that you said during your address, Montanans know how to break the ice.
Yeah, they do. Well, you think Mike Mansfield was a great statesman here for Montana, one of the longest serving majority leaders in the history of the United States Senate. Mike Mance went on and became the U.S. Ambassador to Japan after he served in the U.S. Senate. Max Baucus was U.S. Ambassador to China. So we've got a legacy of Montana senators being involved in helping do things, across the water here. And it's also very important because 95% of the world's consumers live outside of the United States. Think about the ag economy. We've got to have access to these markets. That's the future of ag, and that's why being engaged on the international stage is so important here for the future of Montana.
Absolutely. Senator Daines, we could keep talking for hours on end, I could imagine, but we got to let you go. You're a busy man, and thank you so much, though, for taking a little bit of time and spending it with us.
Thank you, and go Cats.
Go Cats, I'm with you there. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Matt has a look at that forecast.